Hello, 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 everybody. How you guys all doing? Welcome to Mondays with Max. A lot in store for tonight. Again, thank you guys for all being here. And before we get into it, we'll talk a little bit about what I'm going to talk about tonight. So, how do you make mining profitable? And we'll go into it. And it's not going to be profitable for everybody, but for certain people, I can help you do some settings and what to look for and that type of thing. And for those of you that either have cheap electric or have cheap electric for part of the time, you can mine profitably. All right, well let's get into it. And actually, before I go too far, let's run the intro and then also this. Well, let's do the ad first. So this video is and live stream is brought to you by
Fluxpools.net would like to announce a new weekly lottery for loyal miners that support their projects. As you might already know, Flux Labs is operated by the people from the Flux team, and their goal is to provide a safe and transparent mining experience. While the Flux project does not take directly from the pool, they do give a portion of their fees back to the Flux project because they understand that both the project and the miners are what make this pool possible. Fluxpools is giving away nearly 5,000 Flux a month back to miners, and they've decided to reward even more miners during this time of uncertainty. The new weekly Flux lottery replaces the $1,000 per month giveaway and gives 5 lucky miners with a 95% uptime or greater $50 in Flux every week. There are 11 months remaining with over 40 chances to win. In addition, all mining and parallel asset fees are waived until October 5th. This is all on top of their weekly loyalty program. The giveaway prize will be sent directly to the mining address and nowhere else. So please do not mine directly to an exchange. Your rewards may be lost as a result. Please check out fluxpools.net for a great place to mine.
All right. Sorry about that, guys. I trying to figure out exactly how I want to do this. I was so focused on the research for tonight, and definitely had some things going on today. But before we talk about that, let's do a quick roll call. Although it looks like it's going to take a little bit longer tonight because there's a lot more people here early. But Triple D Innovations Mining, Pearl Rival, thank you for being here, being a member. Crypto Barber, Chris Hanley, thank you for being here. Actually, before I go further, so Chris Hanley is not doing Helium content anymore, as I think, but looks like he's going to be doing more like new crypto projects. He actually just had a video on a new crypto project. Don't remember what it was called, but I did watch a portion of that and then got called away, unfortunately. But keep an eye out for his content. If you are not a subscriber, go be a subscriber. He has great content over there. Tains, thank you for being here. Trying to mine. Paul D, thank you. And for your comments. Love your comments. We'll have to see if Brian Hollywood is here because I will talk about Helium later on in the video. Canadian Miner. Patrick Murphy. Travelers Travels. Perkster. Lots of conversation before. I love that. Tains, if I didn't mention you, thank you for being here. Magic Lucky. Mining King, thank you for being here. Yes, you can mine profitably. Anyway, I will show that tonight. Iguana Bites, Toxic Miner. And Veteran Miner, thank you for being here. Tech Man. Budweiser, thank you for being a member. Appreciate it. Crypto Tito, thank you for being a member. And Mining King, thank you for being a member. I mentioned you earlier, but I didn't say thank you for being a member. 3 Foxco. I'm going down the list. I got it. And the wonderful Sunflower Mama is here as well. Blue Dragon Mining. Dpran, thanks for being a member. Better Eggs and Hash. Crypto Crag, yo. Wow Henway. I know I haven't gotten to Eldamaro's OSHS, but I know I saw him. So Eldamaro OSHS, thank you for being here. Cook 4015. Randolph Gray, Automatic Beats. Yeah, a lot of people. David Milliken. Dumpster Fire, love that name. Tyson, thank you for being here. Oh, geez. Thank you for gifting those memberships, Chump Change. Really appreciate that. So we have the people who got the memberships. The free memberships are Perkster, Mass Boost, Triple D Innovations, K-Trim, Paul D, Rude Puts, and Trying to Mine. Wait a minute. And Kellamon Mining as well. And Ant125. Rabid Mining, thank you for being here. And Chump Change, of course, thank you for being here and being a member. Very, very much appreciated. Red Panda has graced us with his presence. Thank you, Red Panda, for being here. I appreciate it. Yeah, the old joke that Mining King started. General Voltage, yes. Boinker139, MH, Viper Mining. This is taking way too long, people. Anyway, I think I hit most people, so if I missed you, I'm sorry. But thank you for... Yes, I said you, Red Panda. Max, say my name. Are you gonna make me break out in song? Say my name, say my name. Anyway. Anyway, TPS Miner, thank you for being here and thank you for being a member for 7 months. Yes, it is getting to be flannel weather. Although I'm kind of wearing a flannel today because I'm not feeling the greatest. I'm starting to feel a little bit better. But it was kind of a stressful day. So that's what I'm going to start out with, actually, as a little PSA. If you are over 50, get your colonoscopy. I still need to get mine. But my wife had hers today. Hers was a little bit different than a normal colonoscopy. I mean, it was normal, but the reason why I say that is it's like the first time. It reminded me a lot of last year at this time. Let's put it that way. In August of last year, she had surgery, major surgery, and let's just say a little bit of PSD was in store for me. Was very kind of stressed, nervous, sitting in a waiting room, just brought back a lot of memories. And it was just difficult seeing her just waking up from the procedure and those types of things. So, but good news, everything came out okay. We were able to see the results of the surgery, that everything was fine, on top of course, the real reason for the colonoscopy, to make sure that there was no cancer. She had one polyp, nothing to be concerned about. They took it out. That's normal. They'll do a biopsy on it, but the doctor was not expecting anything from that. So she is good for another 5 years. So that is great news. So all good news today in regards to that. But like I said, it was just kind of a stressful day. I ended up coming home, having lunch, and took a 3-hour nap. And then woke up not feeling great. I just think it's kind of has me a little off today. But anyway, feeling a little bit better now, which is good. So yeah, I did take a personal day off of work, so I did not go into work today. But anyway, bottom line is, if you're over 50, get that colonoscopy. Make sure you do not have catch colon cancer if you have it early. That's very survivable. Anyway, alrighty. Let's get into why everybody is here, which is, how do you make mining profitable? And yeah, of course, I put it in there. It's not clickbait because you can actually do it profitably. It's just a matter of, it's not going to be possible for everybody. So that's my first disclaimer. This is not going to apply to everybody. But if it does apply to you, I will help provide the tools and as to how to do it automatically. How can you set it up so that it automatically changes when you want it to change? So anyway, my goal with this whole process was figure out when I can mine profitably. And then when I figure that out, I want to automate it. And I wanted to automate it for minimal cost. So yeah, I had to spend a little bit of money to do what I wanted to do, but thankfully I had this and that lying around, and I basically just changed around my farm. Still in process, work in progress. But right now I have 2 rigs that are up and running for a portion of the day. So I have my 12 GPU Octominer and an 8 GPU open air rig. I will get a number of other GPUs running on another open air rig, but I haven't completed that one yet. I need some tools in order to do that, and we'll go through that as well. So let's talk about kind of how this works. So the first piece of this is, how do you figure out if you can have low power rates? Hang on. There we go. Well, first off, let's look at the market. Actually, it looks like we may have lost 3 pints of blood, but the market at least stopped bleeding. So Ethereum's up from where it was a day ago. BTC is about the same. So hopefully we can steady out here and then start recovering a bit. But anyway, this is normal for this time in the cycle. This is nothing unusual. All right, well, let's talk about the different programs that I have available to me. I actually have 2 different programs. One is time of use, and the other one is what I'm on, which is real-time pricing, which means that when there's very little demand, that the cost of electricity goes way down. So this right now, that what we're looking at is the day ahead for tomorrow. And the more we get into fall, the lower these prices are going to get overnight. Okay. During the summer, this doesn't work as well. Partially because I got to run air conditioning to keep it cool enough in the basement. But most importantly, the overnight prices aren't anywhere near as low. But right now, we're looking at less than 5 cents a kilowatt hour for supply. Without getting into too much detail, there's a law that passed in Illinois that provides a fairly substantial credit. So I won't actually get a full read on how this is going to work until my full month of October, because I'll be able to look at my full rebate versus what I've calculated out here. Either way, if I lose a little bit of money, we're talking it's going to be cents a day. It's not going to be anything, super substantial. So anyway, like tonight, I will mine from 11 p.m. So this right here where it says 4.8 cents predicted, that's the time from 11 p.m. to 12 a.m. So basically, I'll mine all the way up until 5 a.m. So this entire time, I will have less than 5 cents a kilowatt hour predicted. That's not necessarily going to come true, but it's usually pretty close. Sometimes it's significantly lower, but I've never seen it where at night where it's been significantly higher. But a lot of this is based upon temperature at night, how much our air conditioner is running, all that kind of stuff. So you may be asking, why does this program exist? Well, it helps really level out the demand in the system by offering this program to people. There are going to be people that are going to really be able to take advantage of this, especially you work a shift where you're awake at night. You can do your laundry, your dishwasher. Heck, you can schedule your dishwasher to run. But doing your laundry, I know we have a 30-year-old washer and dryer, so yeah, it takes up more energy than the current ones. But we try to run more at night than during the day. So that way we can take advantage of these late night lower energy prices. So anyway, but this is basically what I'm doing is mining from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. those 6 hours. So yeah, and so I'm not getting up at 11 p.m. and turning it on and then getting up at 5 a.m. and turning it off. I have set it where I can do it automatically, which I'll get into a little bit. But let's look at the other half of it. So this is how I have low power rates. But just because I have low power rates doesn't necessarily mean that I can mine profitably. So that's obviously, we all know what to mine. You're looking at what to mine, but you want to use this tool accurately. So having a power meter, something like what the meter box puts out, something that's very accurate and can measure your entire rig so that you can accurately put in what the power is on an existing rig. So I have and also going into what to mine and setting up a new data set. So let's say I wanted to set up a new rig. Let's call it rig 2. Rig 2. And then you click add, and then you create the rig with what you will have on it. Let's just say it's 8 3060 Ti's, because I'm going to have actually like 5 3060 Ti's and 3 3060s, I think, something like that. Might have a couple 1660 Ti's on this new rig when I do it. But anyway, and then click calculate. You also want to set the cost of the power. I'm estimating that it's going to be about 7 cents with the distribution charge as well. So what I was showing you as far as cost goes, I was showing what the cost of electricity was just for the supply. So there's also a cost for the distribution. But like I said, normally our distribution is going to be somewhere around 4.5 cents. But because of a rebate due to a law through next June, it's a little bit less than that. So right now I'm just estimating it at 7 cents. It's going to be about that. And then I can go ahead and calculate, and you'll see right now it's at 0, which is not a huge surprise. So let's go down to 0.06, which I think this will be profitable somewhere. No, I guess on this particular rig, I got to do 5. So there may be certain rigs that I won't be able to run all the time, like this one. Oh, interesting. I thought I set it up. And see how all these have come out to 0? Oh, I didn't click that. That's why. Sorry. That makes more sense. All right. Yep. Sorry about that, guys. All right. So at 7 cents, yes, it's not profitable. At 6 cents, it probably still won't be. Nope. Oh, and wow, grins popped up at the top. Interesting. And again, this is over 24 hours. So that's the other thing is I look at the profitability over 24 hours, and then I also look at current profit. Current profit. So profit as well. See, don't do profitability. It's weird. Do profit. But anyway, current profit and current values. And right now you can see that at 6 cents, Caspa is actually profitable. Let's actually raise that to 7. Yeah, and Caspa is still slightly profitable. And again, when I say profitable, I'm not saying very profitable, but I had said all along that I would mine if it was break even or slightly profitable, but I wouldn't mine at a loss. Now, for the sake of science, I'm probably going to mine slightly on the side of a loss. If necessary, it really kind of depends. I think overall it'll end up being a profit, especially as we get into October, where energy prices overnight are going to be a lot lower. But anyway, this is where I basically set things up to really be able to check them. And again, I'm not just setting them up, I'm actually putting in the actual hash rate and the actual power as measured by the power meter. So basically, when I initially set these up, I mined on, in this particular case, I mined on Caspa and I mined on Flux. Those were the two that I was looking at, and set those two up to be exactly what they would be. So anyway, so this is basically how I use it. Like I said, set up a data set for your rigs and then measure them, put in their measurements, and that way you'll get an accurate depiction of whether or not you're mining at a profit at a given power cost. And again, when you're calculating your power cost, make sure you're not just looking at supply, you're also looking at distribution and taxes, depending on how your taxes are figured on your bill. Our taxes are based upon the amount of power used. So you want to figure that in. So anyway, I'll go over that in a future Mondays with Max when I get my next power bill, and probably next Monday, actually, I'll go over and look at each and every single time in which I mined and see what my actual costs were for that, as opposed to looking at the actual predicted. So let me show you my usage. So this, unfortunately, is the latest day I have, which is the day before the merge. So it will show you, obviously, in the middle of the day when my solar is putting out electricity, my cost of electricity is lower and my energy use is going to be a lot lower as well. Come on. Okay, then it doesn't want to load. Well, that's unfortunate. It'll probably eventually load, but um anyway, you got the idea. It showed what my cost of electricity was for each and every hour for the supply side. So it calculates that. So anyway, so that's another thing I'll be looking at after the fact. So thank you for deleting that, Mining King. Anyway, so that's basically how we do that. Oh my god. Gotta love real bad trolls. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys. Appreciate my mods. Interestingly enough, that don't I don't normally have people like this on here. So it's good that he is not on here anymore. Anyway, hang on a second. Do I have the ability to there we go. I've reported that guy. Alrighty. So, sorry for that little distraction there, people. All right. So again, 7 cents is what I'm basing things on. Testing the actual hash rate and power, so you get an actual good measurement. And again, all this is a work in progress. It's going to be testing, seeing how well it goes. But bottom line is, the goal is to mine at a very, very narrow profit. I did that. Okay, so what did I do to the farm? So basically a bunch of my rigs all had server power supplies, but I didn't have any way to trigger those off and on. So I had one of my rigs, which was my AMD rig. It was an open air rig, actually on the original sluice frame, which is a 6 GPU frame. Wow, this is getting ridiculous, people. Yeah, we're definitely a crazy night. This is ridiculous. Anyway, I wish there was a way I could basically get rid of these people, but unfortunately there is not. I appreciate my especially what the heck? I really appreciate my mods. You guys are on it tonight. So thank you so much. I'm going to concentrate on the stream and definitely appreciate you guys keeping him out of the room. Yeah, it looks like I might have to go to a sub only chat. That was funny. Hopefully, where do I okay that message? You can't go. Move on. Shoot. Well, anyway, yeah, anyway, I probably can't even say that word, but anyway, it was very funny. Who said that? Anyway, whoever said the thing that they miss a certain other type of spam. Yeah, I appreciate that. Let me see if there's a way it was Magic Lucky. So yeah, I appreciate that comment, Magic Lucky. Let me see if I don't think that there's a way that I can change it after. Go on. Okay. All right, I'm gonna stop worrying about it. I'll let you guys handle it. So thank you very, very much. Alrighty. So the changes to the farm. So what I changed was I had a rig on the sluice that had a 750 watt gold power supply and a server power supply to do 6 5700 XTs and two 1660 Ti's. So the 750 wasn't going to handle all that, didn't have enough ports on it. So that's why I did it that way. At the time, I had it run 24/7, so it wasn't a big deal to have it set up that way. Now that I want to be able to automatically change it, server power supply is generally a dumb piece of equipment. It's only as smart as the breakout board that's connected to it. So there is the ability to get a breakout board and then a control board that you could program to turn them off and on at the same time. But I don't have those types of breakout boards. I have basic breakout boards. I only have one breakout board with that connector on it that is required in order to do that. Plus, I'd have to spend about $40 or $50 to get that control board. So in this case, since I already had a 2000 watt, thank you to Red Panda Mining for that, 2000 watt power supply, I replaced those two power supplies with the 2000 watt power supply and ran it. And it's, like I said, it's running less than 1500, so well within the 80%. It's doing well, so no worries there. And so it's been running well with that. Obviously, the Octominer has the ability to do that. I see some things popped up. Crypto Tito, thank you for the super chat. Very much appreciate it. And Hawk, thank you for the thank you for the $10 super chat. We're at war. So yes, I appreciate you guys, you mods, so much. Why is that not popping up in my chat? That's weird. But Jeffkey, I did see you pop up. So thank you very much for the super chat, whatever it was. 250. Thank you. Anyway, alrighty. I will in the future do a sub only chat. I'm not dealing with this again. Anyway, so sorry to those people that aren't subs that do like coming to my streams, but I think you can understand why I will do that in the future. Alrighty. So again, I changed it. So basically it's similar to this type of power supply. This isn't the exact one, but it's basically the same type of thing where you got 8 leads, dual leads for PCIe power, and then everything else you need to power the motherboard, as well as SATA and Molex connectors. So we were good there in getting it set up that way. Then the other thing that I'm getting for another rig, so I have a Raptorium rig that it's just basically just a CPU miner. It's a 5950X. Since all of my other rigs run on server power supplies, I didn't, and they run on RebTechs. That's the key. RebTechs do not have the ability to control, do like a wake on LAN type of functionality, because it's just a dumb 6-pin PCIe power connector between the RebTech and the server power supply. So there's no communication of turning on with the server power supply. Okay. So because of that, I switched strategies, and I'm going to turn my Raptorium rig into another open air rig with hanging GPUs and such. So since I took a 750 watt power supply and I already had an 850 watt power supply on that rig, I'll have 1600 watts of power to power 8 GPUs. That should be enough to do most things I would want to do. Might have to control a little bit how much power I use on each GPU, but again, should be fine, should be able to easily stay within that 80%. So I have these on order. I'll be getting these, I believe, tomorrow or the next day, Tuesday or Wednesday. So, but that will help me to, again, add one more rig to this type of configuration. So that is what I'm doing. So I'm basically consolidating down from 4 to 3. 5700 XTs are gone out of the equation right now. I did not find any way to make them profitable unless I had significantly lower energy prices. So for right now, those are on the back burner, as well as probably the 1660 Ti's will probably be off as well. I got to kind of look at that to see exactly what I'm going to put on the Raptorium rig. But anyway, so I'll be down to 3 rigs, but they will all be on for those 6 hours. So now let's get into kind of the meat of what I am doing. And this is where I actually did get this information from the people over at HiveOS in their Discord. They basically said, well, we don't really agree with what you're doing because we haven't found this to work. I haven't found it not to work. So I had this idea, was asking them, how do I get a specific command to be scheduled? And they told me how to do that. And then they're like, why? And I told them why. And they're like, well, that's a really long period of time to be off. We don't think it will necessarily work. So let me show you what I did. So first of all, let's just look at rig 1. Okay. This is the one I just built. Okay. You can see now it's off and I have it scheduled to turn on at 11 p.m. Now, how did I schedule it? Well, I did it through a command, and which is actually the command to turn it off. But I'll get into the scheduling part of it in a second. But the biggest thing is you have to be able to tag your rigs that you want to have do this with a tag. And how do you do that? You go into settings, and then you go down here and you select whatever tag you want, or create a new one just by typing a new one. So once you have this tag, then you can, or whatever tag you want to use, then you can go into scheduling for your farm. So once you go into scheduling for your farm, you go into schedules, and here is my command. Okay. So basically all I did, let's do this. Let's go into edit. So this is what, when you create your first one, this is what you're going to come up with. So first off, you have to select which tag you want this to apply to. So any rig that has this tag, this will apply to. And then it's like what to do. Flight sheet, nope, not worried about that. Overclock template, nope, not worried about that. Obviously not an ASIC. I want to run a command. So I was looking through, I'm like, okay, not using a command, reboot, shutdown, upgrade miner, teleconsole, hash, exec, AMD download. Anyway, you got all these, and I'm like, I don't see a spot where I can put this command in. And then they told me that this exec is for any command that you want to run. So if you have some other wild idea on how to do things, you can use that exec command and schedule that exec command to do whatever you want. In this particular case, I want to, and let's look down at the bottom, I want to shut down my rigs daily at 5 a.m. That's what I want to do. And actually, I'm looking at it a little bit more. Probably the weekends, I'll run a little bit longer. So I'm probably going to set this up for weekdays. And you can do that. You can actually set it up for by weekdays, and then you can select which days you want to select. But for right now, I'm just leaving it at daily at a time for right now. And so every day at 5 a.m., I don't want to end the repeat. And then I just named it time of, how did I do TOE? It should be TOU. But anyway, time of use power is what that's supposed to be. Anyway, so this basically is saying I want to do this command at 5 a.m. every single day. Well, what does this command do? S reboot wake alarm 64,800. So if you've ever noticed, let me get out of this. Have you ever noticed? Select, it doesn't really matter. Oh, wow. Lots of super chats. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate it. Rondi, $50. Appreciate the super chat. And Mining King for 20. Really, really appreciate all the super chats so much. Thank you so much. Totally unnecessary. What I should be paying you guys for your service tonight. So again, thank you to all my mods. I really appreciate it. Oh, okay. Crypto Tito, yes, you do have the ability to be a mod. Oh, that's interesting. My chat is, oh, there it goes. My chat was frozen. Let me see here. Stop scrolling. All right, Crypto Tito, you are a mod. Everybody, you get a wrench. You get a wrench. You all get wrenches. No, I won't do that. But yeah, there's a number of other people I would give wrenches to, but I think we got it covered. So again, very much appreciate you all. I'm more than you know. But I will for the future do subscriber only. Alrighty, back to the subject. All right, where exactly was I here? Oh, so if you ever notice when you go to power actions and you go to shut down and boot in 30 seconds, that is that command. That is S reboot space wake alarm space 30. That's what command is run with that. And that works. Otherwise, why would it be here? So when you look at the 64,800, if I recall, I did the math. So you're looking at 18 hours. So yeah, if you do 3,600 times 18 hours, 3,600 being the number of seconds in a minute, times 18 hours, I believe it comes out to the 64,800. Anyway, it has been coming out correct. So it does start at 11 o'clock. So far my math must be right. But at any rate, it's been working great. It has been working perfectly. If you look at the Octominer, you can see here, it shuts off at 5 a.m. And on this particular one, I've been mining Caspa. On the other one, well, here, let's just look at what the flight sheets are. So on this one, the Octominer, I am mining Caspa. And on the other one, I believe I'm mining Vertcoin. Yeah, Vertcoin. So those are what I've seen to be the most profitable. For right now, I will be changing that up, no question. But yeah, and there's no way to basically set this to at least not that I know of at this point, to check to see what's most profitable and change the flight sheet automatically based upon that, basically via profit switching. But I don't want to do that anyway. I don't want to be constantly trying to chase my tail, because whatever is the most profitable won't be the most profitable in a few minutes. So want to look to see what is out there. Gosh, man, you guys are making me work tonight. Unboxing Project, thank you for the $10. I appreciate it. Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Oh, I love my Monty Python. Oh, I can go on and on with quotes from that. And $4.99, Matt Plumley, thank you so much. Appreciate all you guys do. Love the community. Yeah. Yeah, obviously this is, I could say mining has been the biggest, change in my life over the last 2 years. But honestly, mining brought me to this community is the way I look at it. And it is a community, and cannot say how much I love this community. Have gained some of my best friends in my life from this community. So very, very much appreciate you all there. What was that? Oh, well, thank you for becoming a OnlyFans member, Rondi. I appreciate that very much. And by the way, sorry, belated happy birthday to you. I was unable to wish you a happy birthday because I was dying from the day before. I believe, if I remember correctly, that was the 15th when everybody was doing their messages. And yeah, I got an hour and a half of sleep that night. That was crazy. Hawk, you just need to be quiet about Frogcoin. What is it? What's the first rule of Mining Club? And that is we do not talk about spec mining. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I need to scroll down. Mining King. Okay. Thank you for being a member, Mining King. Appreciate it. Now you can turn on the rigs on for a few days with the super chat. Stack the bags. Well, actually, for me, because of solar, I'm actually kind of able to stack the power because so one of the things that I have with my solar production, sorry, going off on a tangent here. I think I was pretty much done with that anyway, but with my solar production, when I'm producing solar and producing power for the grid in the middle of the day when the power is the most expensive. ComEd pays me what the going rate is. So let me go back to, if it ever came back up, which it didn't, unfortunately. Let me try. You know what? It's probably going to make me sign in. All right, hold on a second. Let me sign back in. That's why it didn't come up. But anyway, I want to show you something. Matt Plumley, thank you very much for the super chat. If I didn't already, thank you. And all right. So now we got it back up here. Let me go. Ooh, I just doxed myself. All right. Anyway, let me go to Dayview. And again, this is prior to the merge, so you won't be able to see this, but you can see in the middle of the day where the cost of electricity is going to be the highest. And actually, this is morning, so this is probably where the cost of electricity wasn't quite as high. But here is where my greatest amount of solar is being produced, is basically from about 10 until 1. Mine face more east than west, so it's southeast. So I produce more energy in the beginning of the day than I do towards the end of the day. So then if you look at what, let's see if I can get back to the 14th. Here, let's go to pricing table. Here we go. Let me go back to the 14th update. There we go. It's not a grid, but you can see it here. So if you look at here where the cost of electricity is higher, 7.6 to 8.6, that's what they're paying me for. Distribution as well as the distribution as well as supply. So it's everything. I'm even producing electricity when it really gets high, but not as much late afternoon because of the direction of my panels. But still, I'm able to get paid for producing electricity when it is more expensive, and then I can use it when it's less expensive. So yeah, I can actually have, I could have a credit at the end of August, or sorry, at the end of April, which is when they zero out your solar credits based on this particular system. So I do have to be careful to make sure I use all them up. So basically, as we go into April, I will be being very careful to make sure that I use all them up. So I may be mining for longer during that period of time, assuming nothing has changed, which we know everything will change. So hopefully that helps somebody out there of exactly how to set up your scheduling by using that exec, that exec, that particular scheduling of that command allows you to put any command that you want in, and then using the S reboot, wake alarm, and then the period of time until the next time you want to turn on. That's kind of the secret sauce of what I'm doing. And I just let it run. So anyway, hey, hobbyist miner, how you doing? Appreciate you being here. All right, and anybody else who showed up, I do appreciate it very much. Oh, evidently, everybody behave. My sister-in-law is lurking. Maybe she was the spammer. No, she definitely was not the spammer. Anyway, all righty. All right, enough on that subject. I rambled about that about 45 minutes, so I knew that was probably going to be a long. Now, another question that was posed to me today actually was about helium. Yes, for the record, it took 45 minutes for me to bring up helium in the conversation. So somebody asked me, hey, if you can get a helium miner for $125, is it worth it? And that's somewhat of a loaded question because it really depends. If you are going to deploy your helium miner inside your house behind triple pane windows, no, I would say don't get one because you're not going to get any rewards. If you have an older house with single pane or maybe even dual pane windows, and you're going to put it on a second floor right next to, right next to the window, and get an external antenna, or even better, put it outside, so that you can get it to your roof. Well, that's a different question. Yes, then maybe it is worth it. So for me right now, I am making about 3 helium a month on my helium miner here at my house. I happen to be on higher ground, not super high because I live in Illinois. We don't have hills. We don't have that many hills, I should say. But I am in one of the highest points in my county. I have it on the second floor. I have it overlooking towards, towards the river. So everything kind of goes down from the direction where I have it pointed. And so, yeah, I make a decent amount of helium. I'm not going to get rich on it or anything, but that's basically about $15 a month. Okay, so $15 a month at $125. Heck, let's do the math. I'm too tired to do it in my head. 125 divided by 15. That's a little over an 8-month payback. So financially, yeah, I don't see the network growing as much as it once did. I mean, it's still growing, but yeah, and I was making more before, but it's not a bad um, investment. Again, the cost of electricity is like 5 watts. It's super small. So if you're going to buy a GPU or you're going to buy a Helium miner, which one's going to be more likely to be profitable? Right now, the Helium miner. I know a lot of people probably don't want to hear that, but that is the truth. That is the truth. So anyway, so that's my 2 cents on that. It really depends. You have to be committed to it. You have to have a good location for it. I have 2 other Helium miners. Not ideal. One is making okay money. The other one is not making any money. And yeah, I probably need to relocate that one. But at any rate, it's all about location and how you have place it, how you place it. And one of the key things, especially if you live in a warm state, if you live down south, the odds of you having tint on your windows, triple pane, all those energy saving things in your windows, yeah, placing it next to a window is still going to produce quite a bit of loss, really limiting the effectiveness of your Helium miner antenna. So you really want to have it outside if at all possible, hopefully on a roof somewhere. Anyway, there are definitely some people still making good money mining Helium. As far as the future of the coin and the future of the project, that remains to be seen. There's certainly some skeptics out there. There's certainly some people that have been leaving the project. So yeah, really depends. So actually, I just saw a comment Rondi popped up. An HNT miner would be a nice way to introduce your kids to cryptocurrency and mining. Couldn't agree more. That would be, again, it doesn't cost a lot. And the other part of it is, so this is what I would recommend. Get the 8 gig version of the MNTD. So basically get the MNTD gold spot because it comes with the 8 gig version. And then heck, doesn't work out, you can do exactly what Hawk did and turn it into a Flux node. So hey, it's dual. And actually, if you can get an MNTD gold spot for $125, please let me know where that deal is, because I absolutely will turn that thing into a Flux node, because you can't get Raspberry Pi is that type of Raspberry Pi for $125 by itself. So that would be a cheap way of getting into it. So, alrighty, let me see if I can start hitting some of the people who have tagged me. I'm going to scroll up a bit to get to some of the ones I missed. Tains, have a good night. Sorry if you're already gone. But hey, maybe you'll catch the replay. Mike R, you should host solar panels. I don't have enough room on my roof. That's the problem why I don't have more capacity. I've only got 6 kilowatts of solar panel capacity. So yeah, and it takes up every ounce of that roof. Every other side of my roof is not good because I have trees around my house, and I'm not going to cut down my trees. I love my trees. So no, I'm not a tree hugger. I just love my trees. They all have sentimental value to me. The one in the backyard was bought for my son, my first child. My mother bought it for him, and it basically was right next to the jungle gym that was built for him. So yes, that one has sentimental value. One in the front yard, one of the ones in the front yard we just bought. I just love that tree. And then the other one was a Parkway tree that the village said it's dead. We're like, no, it's not. And they're like, yes, it is. I'm like, well, then don't throw it out. So we basically took that tree and planted it, and it's now huge. So it definitely was not dead. So anyway, So no, I do not have any room for solar panels. I had to like, what got me on the trees? Anyway, Hobbyist Miner says, dang, Max Voltage gets all the cool kids in the chat. Yeah, well now that you're here, Hobbyist Miner. Big Wooly, hey, what's up? I don't know, what's up with you, dog? Chump change, it was the brother-in-law. It was not. It better not have been your brother-in-law. Oh, it was my brother. No, I get along with all my family. Well enough that they wouldn't do that to me. But anyway, Chia next. Paul D, we are not talking Chia. Although I was thinking about actually doing Chia, but then I was like, nah. I actually have we were talking about this last night in the one of the chats on Discord. I have a couple of Power Edge servers that, let's just say, were given to me by somebody who got them from a company that was throwing them out. So they basically that company puts everything in a bin and says, if you want it, you can take it. And so that person asked me, and I'm like, I'll take that and that. I have no idea if I'll use them, but I'd like to see what they are. Anyway, bottom line is they're from like 2009 to like 2012, but they're a bunch of again, old Power Edge servers. One is an R710 and the other one's a Power Edge 2970. So DDR2, DDR3 area. Anyway, all right, let's see. TBS Miner says, sorry, you're breaking up. Thought I heard you say helium. Yes, you did hear me say helium. Mining King, I still have a gold MNTD for trade. Yeah, I know. He was trying to trade me for the servers, and I was like, dude, you'd be getting the short end of the stick on that. But anyway, we'll talk later. Let's see here. Pearl Rival. There's supposed to be a big speech from AHNT. Have you heard anything? I know that there is a meeting. I don't remember exactly what day it's on. I was actually just reading that prior to the stream. It's like in New York. Anyway, head on over to the Helium Discord. I'm sure they have. I know that they have all the details over there. Budweiser, hold the high ground, General Voltage. You guys are funny. You did not. You never asked me to be on Meet the Miner. You never asked me. And I'm okay with that. I'm not worried about it, but you never asked. So no, do not say that you tried to contact me about Meet the Miner. You contacted me about other things, and that's fine. We've done other collabs, but anyway, Meet the Miner's like past. I haven't even done one of those in like forever. I figured you're probably not even doing them anymore, which is fine. Anyway, just wanted to clear the air on that one, just to make sure that the story was straight. Anyway, the unboxing project. Sorry, zoned out there when you were going on and on and on about helium. I was looking at what else I can mine with my L3 plus ASICs. Oh, interesting. Bacon, eggs, and hash. Oh, I hate it when it jumps like that. I can scroll back up. Oh, man, it really jumped. Holy cow, it way jumped down to the bottom. Oh, there it is. Oh, bacon, eggs, and hash. I'm making about the same, around 3 helium a month. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's worth about $5 per helium per HNT. So it's about $15 a month. So again, not gonna make a ton of money, but like I said, 8-month payback. Buy a GPU now. What's the payback on it? Like forever. So there you go. Hot Crypto, yeah, turn it into a Flux node. Exactly like Hot Crypto did. Yes, and for the record, he has a video on it. Yes, he does. For the record, I gave him that idea. Anyway, Guana Bytes, can we convert the MNTD Black Miner into a Bitcoin node? I believe you can, actually. It's a 4 gigabyte version. I believe you don't even need something that big in order to do a Bitcoin node, but I'm not sure. I have mainly focused on nodes where you can actually make money. Now, the advantage to being a Bitcoin node is if you do a lot of transactions on Bitcoin, I think it can lower your transaction costs because it gives you access to the Lightning Network, I think. Anyway, I have done very brief research into that, so I'm certainly not even close to being an expert on Bitcoin Node. I know that uh, Savage Mind did a video on how to make a Bitcoin node quite a while ago, before he passed. And so I would say go check out that video. I'm sure it is still applicable. And Obvious Miner Screw donating to Max Voltage. Buy the man a tree. No, we have as many trees as we need in our yard. Thank you very much. Paul D said, I planted a pink lady apple tree. Deer keep eating it. You know, that's, hey, at least you got deer coming in your yard. That's kind of cool. Blue Moon Mining says, I'll make sure to keep my Gramps away from your trees. He's known to cut them down. Wow. All right, let me scroll down, see if there's any more. Obvious Miner. I live in a world of lies. Well, that's my recollection, but I'm old, so maybe my memory's bad. I actually don't remember you asking me, but like I said, it's all good. I'm not worried about it. Let's see here. Pro gaming with Vicky. Are you an ETH developer? I think I have seen you in dev meetings. I'm not an ETH developer. I just was a person who was lurking, trying to learn, trying to see what's going on, making sure they didn't go off the rails, basically trying to keep them honest. So and again, exposing when they did say certain things. Like way back when, I don't know if you remember when Red Panda decided he was going to do the whole thing about trying to consolidate all the hash rate onto Ethermine. And that all came back to a thing that Micah said, which was, well, if miners ever did manage to, get 40% of the hash rate on a mining pool, we would certainly have to look at that. Meaning we would certainly have to look at doing something by including the miners in the conversation. Basically, they go on gaming theory and they believe that there were too many different miners in order to organize and consolidate to actually have the possibility of attacking the network. There was never any intent of attacking the network. It was just to try to be a show that it is possible. It was called off for a number of reasons. Basically because between that and moving forward, there were some changes, and one was not a result of the other, but BBT got into the conversation where he wrote an EIP. I had been talking to Tim Biko about writing an EIP, but I was not the right person to do that. BBT was, and I'm glad he stepped in to do that. Anyway, that was back when I was unemployed and very curious. I'm a very curious person by nature, and I learned a ton about how that group works. I learned a ton about ETH. So no, not a developer. Probably could become one if I wanted to, but my interests as far as jobs lie elsewhere. And anyway, thank you for asking that question, though. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I have been going an hour. I'll answer a few more questions and then we will call it a night. Paul D says, do you know if validators are censoring Tornado Cash? Wow, this is going to go a little bit longer. Okay. So as far as I understand it, yes, they are, because they have to. They have been shown that they are censoring Tornado Cash transactions. And that's a very interesting conversation because there is a threat from Ethereum developers that they'll do an EIP to do social slashing, meaning that if you are going to censor your transactions, then anybody that is doing that is has the possibility of being slashed. Yeah, that is going to be really interesting to see how this goes on. And by the way, Ergo also has a mixer. And let's define what mixer is. Mixer is basically where you have all these transactions that decide we're going to go to this service. We are going to send our transactions into this service. They are going to mix them all up and send them out um, to their respective destinations with no ability to track what money came from where. So if you got 10 people coming in with, say, 10 ETH, and then you got 10 ETH going out to various different wallet addresses, you can't map those 10 ETH to the 10 ETH that they actually went to. Only thing you know is that someone in these 10 ETH went to one of those addresses, and that's all you know. That's basically what a mixer does, and it's done for privacy reasons. Now you can say it's also done for unscrupulous activity. Yeah, that's definitely a use for it, but it's also done for privacy reasons as well. So this is what. Oh, thank you, Brandon Coin, for the super chat. Thank you so much. No, I did not say all night live stream. Well, I got to get off before you release your video for the night. I don't think you've released yours yet because basically, thank you, Brandon Coin. To all your other YouTubers out there, I so much appreciate Brandon Coin because when I'm driving to work at 4:30 in the morning, he is the one who's put up the latest content because he releases this stuff at night. So every morning I go in, turn on his video sometime during my drive to work and listen to what he has to say. So thank you, Brandon Coin. Appreciate it. If you don't know Brandon Coin, which I'm sure everybody here does, but if you don't, check him out. He very down to earth, is going to tell you like it is. Good old boy. Appreciate you, Brandon Coin. Any rate, I lost track where. Oh, so anyway, so mixers, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see where this goes. I'm not sure where it's going to go. It could become a war, honestly. I don't think it's really a war that Ethereum wants to get into. And if you think about it, you have the majority of your validators, well over the majority of your validators, are in the US. They're going to be subject to this. So unless you are going to really work hard to distribute your validators outside of the US, you're kind of stuck. But by the way, this was not a problem with proof of work because proof of work basically means that you have this memory pool of transactions, this mempool of transactions, okay? And you're always figuring out who's going to win that block, okay? Every so often, and fairly often, you're going to have a block be won by a non-USA based mining pool or whatever, mining pool, whoever's mining it, if they're solo mining it, whatever. But then they have the ability to include those transactions. With this, you have to get consensus amongst all of the validators. So if over 50% of the validators are saying, nope, not going to include that, it will never get included. That's my understanding of it. So there's a real problem with them changing. And that was one of the reasons why one of the rumors or the thoughts was that they might delay the merge because of this issue until they could get better thinking around how they were going to handle this. So I don't know about you, but if I was a validator in the US where I have staked 32 of my ETH, I'd be pretty ticked right now. I have no ability to get it out. My government is telling me I can't validate any of those transactions that come out of Tornado Cash. So I'm stuck, and yet you are going to slash my ETH with a possibility of slashing my ETH. I'm stuck between a rock and a hard place. Do I break the law or do I lose my money? That sucks. That really sucks. So, but that's what you get into when you stake all your Ethereum without having the ability to get it out. I've said all along, I thought it was crazy for people to be staking their ETH with having no ability to get it out if anything were to happen. So, anyway, that's my 2 cents on that. No, I did not see BBT's video today. I have not had a chance. Like I said, I took a 3-hour nap this afternoon when I would have had a chance to watch some things, but I will check it out. The traffic is way down on the ETH network. It's pretty interesting. Fudweiser, SEC is saying they own all of Ethereum. Not sure what's meant by that, but I can see why that statement would be made, but I would be surprised if it was made by the SEC. Anyway, whatever on that one. It definitely is going to be very interesting to see what happens with ETH and Tornado Cash and everything around that. And like I said, don't leave out Ergo. Ergo right now is a small player, but they've got a mixer as well. I'll be curious to see how that happens. I guess my wife is telling me I need to do reels called 2 cents with Max, or Max is 2 cents. Yeah, I guess with what I'm saying, yeah, that's my 2 cents. If it's worth that much. But anyway, alrighty guys. Well, again, cannot tell you how much I appreciate you guys all being here. Oh yes, my wife says, remind them all to subscribe. Yes, especially now, subscribe, because you will not be able to comment next week when I do this, because I am going to make it subscriber only, so we cannot have the same problem we had today. So again, thank you very much. I appreciate it. And no, jelly is Brandon Coin's thing, not mine. Anyway. No, I know what he meant. I was joking. Anyway, I just saw the word jelly. And on the way out, I will play the giveaway, as well as the ability to purchase the new GPU hangers from Misfit Mining. Alrighty, guys, thank you very much. Salute from General Voltage, and you guys all have a wonderful night.
The GPU hanger. Misfit Mining and the Meterbox Company have partnered up to bring back the GPU hangers better than ever. The iconic Misfit Mining GPU hanger is now going to be PVC injection molded, making them stronger and more heat resistant than ever before. This project will be 100% community funded and produced once our goal is met. As a thank you for all your support, we are running a massive giveaway for the entire month of September, giving away over $7,000 in prizes like the iPolo V1 Mini, Mini Classic Plus, G1 Mini, tons of meter boxes, GPU hangers, and limited edition NFTs. Check out the new GPU hanger and enter this amazing giveaway. No purchase is necessary. You may also purchase additional items for even better chances to win. The GPU hanger contest is worldwide, extending through September 30th. Winners will be publicly announced on October 5th.